I'm kicking off the fridge side of the kitchen by building the right-hand wall cabinet. This will house a microwave at the bottom and have a shelf for cookbooks. With all the pieces cut to size and laid out, I can begin to mark out for some dados. The bottom, shelf and back panel will all be dadoed into the side panels for strength. I begin by cutting the dado for the bottom. This is set away from the bottom of the cabinet so that there is room for lighting underneath the cabinet. The back panel dado starts short of the bottom of the side panel, where it meets the dado for the bottom panel, so I start it with a plunging cut. I then cut the dado for the shelf with the exact width dado jig, since it was beyond the reach of my edge guide. The bottom panel and shelf will be screwed in from the side, while the top and back panel will be held in with pocket screws. With all the dados cut and holes drilled, I can assemble the cabinet. The joy of using dados is that the cabinet holds itself together and remains square whilst you screw it together. The screws for the shelf receive a pilot hole to prevent the plywood from splitting. Since the bookshelf area is visible at all times, I'm trimming the inside with oak veneered MDF. I start by cutting the back panel to rough size using a circular saw, then trim it to width at the table saw. Then I rip a long strip which will form the 4 side pieces. The back gets a quick sand, then I apply a layer of glue to the back of the cabinet. I have the cabinet laying on its back to make the installation easier. The back panel is a fairly tight fit, so it takes a bit of pushing to get it in place. When it is in place, I press around all the edges to remove any air bubbles. Then I place some weights on it to add clamping pressure. With all the trim in place, it looks a little something like this. You may notice that I cut all the side pieces in sequence, so that the grain pattern is continuous around the sides of the bookshelf. Next up is the face frame, which goes together in the same way as my previous video. Well, here it is, the finished upper cabinet. So we're going to have the microwave in here and our bookshelf kind of area here for cookbooks. As you can see, the face frame hangs down at the bottom and we've got a recess here. That way we can add some LED lighting on the back later if we want to, but I'm not sure about that yet. Alternatively, we could put some spotlights under the cabinet as you typically find. So that's all for this week. In the next video I will be moving on to the rest of the fridge side of the kitchen. So thanks for watching.